Here is an overview for the Unit 2 Common Assessment. We'll have an overview of the test itself and look at the reading tasks, writing tasks, and some Edulastic logistics. The exam has 3 sections: reading, multiple choice, and writing. Now, you'll have 2 full classes to take the exam. Day 1, you should do the reading, the multiple choice, and plan your narrative. And day 2 is to do the narrative writing itself, and any leftover time is to review your test. Let's look at day 1. Like I said, day 1 is for the reading and multiple choice and your narrative planning. So for the reading, you are going to reread part of a chapter from A Long Walk to Water. You're actually going to read part of a chapter we've already read in class. And even though the test itself is on Edulastic, I'm creating a Google Classroom assignment. You're going to use the assignment for your reading notes. You'll do 2-column notes in the Google Classroom assignment, but you'll answer the multiple choice questions in Edulastic. What's the focus of the multiple choice? There are 2 areas of focus: vocabulary and context and point of view. What does vocabulary and context mean for this test? Vocabulary and context is the skill of determining the meaning of a mystery word by using surrounding words or context. Some key strategies. 1, find and highlight the mystery word. 2, underline context clues around that word to help you figure out the meaning. 3, make a prediction. What do you think the word means? And 4th, look at all the answer choices, test them all out, and see which one makes the most sense. So if I had a question asking me what the word rebels means, I'd find the word, highlight it, underline context clues around the word. I'd form a prediction. You see it here in the pink words. I think it might mean going against the people in power. And then lastly, I'd look at all the answer choices, test them all, and see what makes the most sense. What about point of view? What does that mean? Point of view, or POV, means the perspective or voice from which a story is told. Now, we need to go past just determining the perspective. Is it first person point of view? Is it second person point of view? Is it third person? When you get a multiple choice question about point of view, it's really asking you, what character feelings does the point of view show? So here's an example question. If the question's asking, what does page 7 reveal about Salva's point of view? It's really asking you, what are Salva's feelings or emotions that the point of view shows? Think to yourself, what character feelings are revealed through the narrative perspective? This is the scene where Salva's at school and there's gunfire outside his classroom. The point of view really shows us Salva's sense of fear and alarm and confusion. Okay, moving right along, let's look at the narrative planning. A reminder that day 1 is to finish your narrative plan and day 2 is for the writing. What's the focus for the narrative writing? The prompt is going to ask you to rewrite a scene from a different narrative perspective. You're going to switch the point of view. We've practiced this in class already. Look at the yellow box on the screen here. The prompt that we already did was rewriting part of chapter 4 from a Dinka tribesperson point of view in first person. So you're going to have a prompt like that. You'll use a story map. How do we do that? Like I said, even though the test is in Edulastic, you're going to have a Google Classroom assignment. You'll use that for your reading notes. You'll also use the Google Classroom assignment for your story map to plan your writing. You're going to use the left side of the story map to capture the key events from the chapter, beginning, middle, and end, and the right side of the story map to capture key characterization. You'll finish in that very bottom box by writing a theme. Now, some tips for the narrative writing. Remember to match the story elements and style from the original text. Use slow motion on key moments, those techniques of sensory details, including character thoughts and dialogue, and descriptive language. Remember, you're not creating anything, you're just rewriting a scene from a different point of view. So you're matching all the story events from the original, you're just changing the point of view. And be sure to match the characterization. How's your writing going to be graded? 3 main categories: structure and development. That means, are you matching the point of view? Are you using that correct point of view like the prompt is asking? And are you matching the main story events? Second, characterization. Are you accurately capturing the characters and developing their characterization appropriately? And lastly, descriptive language. Are you using some of those techniques we've talked about to build slow motion, like character thoughts and dialogue, sensory details, and descriptive wording? Let's look at some logistics quickly for Edulastic. You're taking your test on Edulastic. You should know the platform. You can log in through Clever. If that does not work, you can, of course, go to edulastic.com directly and use your Google account credentials to log in there. Some notes on the logistics. You can use the highlighter tool, especially on those vocabulary questions. You can use the process of elimination tool to help you on the questions. And when you get to the narrative writing, that's at the end of the test, you'll see you actually have multiple options. You'll have 2 different choices. More on that later. Now, a reminder, you need to use your story map before you write for the narrative. So don't just start to write in Edulastic. You're going to do the story map first, and you're even going to write the narrative in Google Classroom first. The very, very last thing you do is copy and paste your writing into Edulastic. When you're totally finished, that's when you submit your test. But you should only do that when you're 100% certain that you're done, and if you've checked in with me first. Do not turn in your test until you've checked in with me. I would also recommend you look at the English Basics 1-pager before the test. That's on the classwork page under additional materials. There's a lot of helpful resources there to refresh yourself before the test begins. Thanks for watching.